How do? Time for Spider and Old Scooter again. It's me, Old Scooter, Spider McGillicuddy. We're going to play some Spider Solitaire. We're going to call this the Testosterone Diplomacy edition. And we're going to talk a little bit about the plight of people caught in terrible disasters. Not much. I'm just going to encourage positive thoughts, being a positive thoughts guy. And speaking of ridiculous, the reason you haven't seen me with a new game for the last 2 or 3 days is that I'm recording an audiobook of this thing, Ms. Time Tripping with Amazing Females. And I only have so much time that I can do this stuff. So I guess I could take more time, but that would take away from other stuff that, a man has to take care of his time inventory. At least I do. Maybe I don't. Who knows? But anyway, that's what I've been doing. It's really tough doing an audiobook if you're a freshman in the game. I'm having to sort of teach myself everything. How to read it is like I just finished chapter 1. Just finished means 5 times I recorded chapter 1. And every one of them was spoiled by technical problems, my own screw-ups. I had this 15-minute time limit that I have here, and one ran 15 minutes and 28 seconds, which I couldn't figure out how to tack on more. Worked on it, spent some time. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. I apologize if you're one of the 4 or 5 people who depend on seeing a new game all the time. Okay, do I have a game pulled up? I don't think I do. Oh, you sloppy man. So I'll bring this dude out, put it up in the corner, cover Ms. Spider with her game, haul this corner down to here. I'll tell you, if you would like to hear Chapter 1, after all the labors I put into it, there's also Chapter 4 and Chapter 7 available now. All done with a different style. I'm still learning what to do with this stuff. But anyway, this is Spider Solitaire. I play the 2 suits version, being a man of lazy brain. And I play it and sort of talk about it. So if you're new to this, you can learn a little bit about how one guy plays a game. It can be played many, many ways. I play it sort of nominally. The reason I do that is I got into playing this game after playing Free Cell for years, whenever I needed a little mental sidelining. And then my sister, Mandy, you remember, just the other day realized I cleaned up my desk and I can no longer find my picture of Sister Mandy, but I'll find it. But anyway, she turned me onto it, and I got into it, and it displaced Free Cell in my heart. And so I moved over to this game because it serves the purpose better, which to me is to distract me and sort of occupy my facilities and my faculties and my other F words. So, and then I started playing it online. Because if you're going to waste time, you might as well waste time in a fashion that serves some purpose, and there are apparently some people who like to see the game played by other people. And it's not just this game, of course, the really big important games that they play in the e-games, Merciless Mud Turtle and all those fantastic games. They really are fantastic. And if you know from Twitch, you can go watch people play games, and people pay. The viewers who watch people play the games send money to the people who play the games. That's not a hint. Please don't send me any money. And some few, and I'm not sure how few, but quite a few thousands, actually make a living doing it, playing a game, playing, Soldiers of Fortune or Battle Nerds Revolt. Some of the greatest creations out of American creativity recently have been these games. They're just spectacular. The graphics are unbelievable. The reality gets better and better with every passing generation. And they have a generation about every year and a half, it seems like. But this is why I call what I'm doing here Twitch for old people, because it's, kids don't play. Well, I'm not sure about kids don't play solitaire. I guess they do some. But anyway, the reason I'm calling this game the Testosterone Diplomacy Edition is President Trump at the UN. Of course, you've heard endless palaver about it, so I hope my palaver is slightly different. I think of it as testosterone diplomacy because there's nothing wrong with being tough. There's nothing wrong with setting new standards for the relationship. There's nothing wrong with flexing muscle internationally. But you can do it in two ways. One is sort of out in front, where you give your opponent no chance of saving face, where you make sort of a spectacle of it. Or you can do it behind the scenes, be just as tough, just as ruthless, but not as embarrassing. But I think there's something testosterone-ish. You try saying that. Testosterone-ish about it. It's sort of a display thing. It's like the lion that spreads his lion ruff. I don't know whether lions do that or not. But gorillas, pound in the chest. It's a very animalistic and sort of super male thing. And it's deep in our genome. That's the way you won the battles. Of course, now we're in this state where you can pound your chest just right and blow up a whole country, or despoil the atmosphere of the world for the next 1,000 years with radioactivity. There's all kinds of bad stuff you can do these days you couldn't do when we were establishing these instincts. But there he is anyway. It seems like to me it's what a malignant narcissist who is president does for power politics. And he also may be trying to distract us from the Russian investigation. So, enough of that. It's one of the reasons I play this game, so I don't have to think about President Trump. Whatever, we're on the third deal here. We haven't punched any holes in the thin blue line. Been moving things around while I talk. I hope I'm getting it right. I think my mind just drifts away from the game when I talk, but my fingers keep moving stuff. Didn't I have it too? Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. Because it gives me a hole. I love holes. And they're sort of the wild cards of this game. Do a little restack there. Had a 7. I could move my 6. Oh, you see how it's going. Not all that well. Don't need that. If I did that, I could play that 6-5 nowhere. If I did that, that 3 would go nowhere. If I did that, that 10 would play. No, it won't go. It should go, will go. It's the way you press the button on the touchpad sometimes. I'm sure you're very sympathetic to that. I have this up, by the way, just momentarily to think about the god-awful path of destruction that Maria, the hurricane, a hurricane named Mariah, the wind named Mariah, the hurricane named Maria. Well, it cut a swath through here and it just ripped Puerto Rico, as you know. It's hard to conceive what it must be like right now on Puerto Rico. But I have a plan. Don't you always, Scooter. A real president, see, there I go, getting snide again, but a really good presidential opportunity would be to say, look, we have a lot of responsibility for Puerto Rico. It's under our jurisdiction. Its people are American citizens. Let's, by golly, fix it right. And go in. They have the world's worst electrical system. The electrical system from hell, and various other parts of their infrastructure was really rotten. So this thing has just leveled it all. So, throw some big money at it. Put in a totally 21st century electrical system. Bury all of the wires. They lost drinking water too, but principally because they lost electricity. If they had electricity, then all they'd have to do is clean up their intakes and their filter systems and everything, and boom, the system would work because they could pump water immediately. Or if they had a reserve that was hurricane safe, a big tank full of water, they could pump it immediately. So they would have electricity and water no matter how bad the storm is. And this is probably the worst a storm can be. So wouldn't that be great to totally rebuild Puerto Rico, rebuild the hospitals, rebuild the schools, help people rebuild their houses, and all of them be hurricane proof, and put in an underground electrical distribution system and build new and higher walls around the water intakes and whatever it takes to make it the super. I sort of doubt that's going to happen, but wouldn't it be glorious? Wouldn't it give the world a great example of what America can do when it puts on its good hat, as opposed to its testosterone diplomacy hat? There. Got that off my chest. See my chest? Aren't they great? Oh, yeah. Oh, I got a lot of bird shirts. Little bitty and very ancient dinosaurs they are, my friends. Okay. Oh, where's the game? What did I do with the game? There, let's finish this sucker off. We're at halfway point. Did get a hole punched. That's pretty good. That's, if I had a 7, I'd have a score. Wouldn't that be nifty? Well, of course, Ms. Mac, Spider Mac, the AI that runs this joint, wouldn't think of giving me what I want. In fact, she works hard not to. And to give me stuff I don't want, and sometimes give it to me in multiples. She floods the zones with 4 3s or whatever. None of them will play. She's a vicious and competitive artificial intelligence. Well, I'll do a little restack here, and I got a King 7 stack. There's always promise when you've got a King 7 stack. Motorola. Roll a motor. You see anything else? If I did this, I'd have a 9-8, which I couldn't do anything with, so I won't do that. So I'll take another deal. I'm probably missing, I say this ad nauseum, but I'm probably missing some moves. And if you see them, and don't yell at the screen, feel superior that you see something that I don't. 8. Oh. 6. Oh, thank you very much. See what I mean? No, they don't see what you mean. You didn't say anything. Oh. Picky, picky, picky. So I got a jack string. Ace on the bottom, I call it a string. So I got a jack string. All I need is a queen and a, get over there, and a king, and score. So I'm now $2 in the lead. $500 to play, $550 to break even. And at $552, I am in the black. I'm in the money. Don't sing, Scooter. Had more thoughts about a hand puppet today. Nothing came of it. I just wanted to report that I had a thought. I hope I can finish this game before the time runs out. I bet you do too, don't you? Or you don't even care whether I finish the game or not. Oh, look at that. Possibilities. King, queen, X, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom! What happened? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, 2 8s. All right, we'll do that, and score. All right, now I'm $94 ahead, which is better. Oh, yes. So king here and a queen jack. And a 9, 8. Up. Oh, there we go. That'll do. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Got a 9 string with a 10, which is right there. Can I get to it? I can't. Oh, yeah. audio booking. My wife was walking around. Oh, we're out of time. Well, bye.